Let's go. Doing this one-handed is not the easiest thing in the world, so I'm gonna try. Yay! Hello, I am back home now, which means that it is time to finish off this sketchbook page. I'm going to be using the same materials that I brought with me for the walk, just so that the page has some cohesion to it. For most of the inking, I'm going to be using the pen that you're seeing me hold now, which is the Sakura Pigma FB brush pen, and it's a soft felt brush tip pen, so it's not a real brush tip. It's a felt brush tip, but it's quite soft, so you very easily get a lot of line variation without having to use too much pressure. And for any of the details, it's a 0.2 micron, and that should cover everything. The sketch that you saw me doing by the stream, I just used the brush pen for, and I went straight in with brush pen because I didn't have too much time. And that is why I brought the materials that I did with me, because I didn't know how much time I was going to have to do any kind of art while we were there. So I decided to bring materials with me that I knew would be very fast, things I'd be able to just get out really quickly, do something whenever I had a moment to, and then be able to just put it away straight away again. So that's why I didn't bring any painting things with me this time, because I didn't know if I would have time to, and honestly I didn't. So I brought the good materials with me for the kind of situation I needed. And for the colouring, to be able to just get everything out and then get everything done and then put everything away quickly, I brought Copic markers. I don't often use Copic markers on the channel. I mainly use them for sketching like this, where I just need to get some quick colour ideas down, because I don't have to wait for them to dry, which is really, really good in these kinds of situations. I put together a set of 16 and brought just the 16 with me, and I tried to theme the colours that I brought around forests, so I was able to get a rough idea of what I might need and what I didn't need, so that I wasn't lugging around a huge set of Copic markers, but that I still had enough variety with me to get what needed to get done. And that meant that I was able to do a little colour study while I was there, and without it being too time consuming. So it ended up working out, I think. And that just meant that I was able to do a little bit of plein air and be able to fit it into the time we had. It was a really, really nice day out. I was mainly focusing on spending time with family while I was there. It wasn't, it wasn't a sketching trip, it was a family day out but I had my sketchbook with me kind of trip. So that was why I just brought quick things with me, and I decided to see what happens and let whatever be be. And now I'm finishing off the page and I'm full of inspiration, which is really exciting. I have a cat next to me and she's very, very disturbed right now. Are you okay, Sky? You alright? Ooh, aeroplane is. You don't like that noise outside, do you? No. Okay, I think she's calmed down now. There are children playing in the rain and she's very offended by this. Anyway, where was I? I guess I could talk about some of the stuff that inspired me while I was there. I love being in different kinds of nature in general. Forests, though, are definitely one of my favourites. And I love all of the different colours that you can see while you're there. I wish I was able to paint while I was there, but I am also glad that I didn't, because I got to spend a lot of time both with my family and then also just in nature. So I kind of view it, the time not spent painting, as important too, in its own way. And now I have a few ideas for things that I want to do with that inspiration. Obviously I did this sketch page, but that's only going to be the beginning of it. I got loads of reference photos because obviously that's very easy to just snap as you're walking along or moving from place to place. So lots of reference to be getting through, and I can imagine that that's going to end up being in a few of my sketchbook pages coming up. But I've been really inspired by some of the trees while I was there and the lighting that was on them, and I really want to do some actual watercolor studies of them now. There's a couple that are standing out to me in particular. There was one tree that had a tiny branch of leaves growing off of it, and the leaves were being hit by the sunlight just right for this shadow of leaves to sort of twist around the trunk of the tree, and that was gorgeous, and I really want to paint that. And then there was another bit of the walk that I was on where there was a tree that had some really interesting lighting on it as well. It was very lighting heavy, the inspiration that I got, because one thing that I love about forests is the sort of stark, really deep, dark, shadowed lighting, and then also the bright sunlit leaves that you can get, and the dappled lighting and the beams of sunlight coming through the canopy and things like that. There's like a really nice contrast in dark and light when you're on the forest floor, and that was where I got a lot of inspiration soaking up. So I might even go off and tape up some watercolor paper. I think it might be time to do that, but I will leave you here with the sketchbook page for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.